we're all 100% and ready to go. And that is the rookie for the Larod Stevens Howling 7th round draft pick, as the Cardinals have won the toss and elected to receive. Joe Nedney, the veteran with a strong leg, will kick it off for the 49ers. And here we go. Jason Wright backs up and takes it and hesitates and takes a knee. And the rookie, Larod Stevens Howling, is out on the field to start, with Tim Hightower in the backfield. Warner out of the shotgun on first down. The pass overthrown, intended for the tight end, Steven Spock. On 2nd and 10, it's Hightower. It's about 3. Bring up a 3rd and 7. There is Mike Singletary, took over on an interim basis last season, went 5-4, 5-2 in the last 7.
Well, he deserved to be the head coach of this football team. In my mind, there's no question about it. And, you know, they're glad Camp Singletary is over. I know that in talking to the players, but you go back to last year, they were a much better team when he took over at the line of scrimmage. And defensively, last 4 or 5 games, they certainly started to hit their stride. Arizona will be challenged today.
4 wide receivers in, empty backfield on 3rd and 6. Warner being rushed, and the pass is dropped. Thrown a little behind the first-year man Lance Long. Good pressure from Manny Lawson with those long arms.
Yeah, and they're going to get holding on someone in the offensive line for the Arizona Cardinals.
Holding. 94. Defense. Penalty. Automatic. First down.
On the other side, that's Don Carey in his first regular season NFL game as a referee. He's been in the league 15 years.
Here's Justin Smith right there in the middle, and this is a point of emphasis in the National Football League, defensive holding. Now, if he holds this guy to allow Manny Lawson to get around, which is exactly what he did on that pass rush stunt, what he did is he fired into the guard and then held on to him and held his shoulder and did not allow him to kick out and get on Manny Lawson, who was coming around on the stunt. That was a good call from the umpire, and again, being a point of emphasis, that was the right call on Justin Smith.
Justin Smith, you see the active consecutive starting streak at 124. 2 tight ends for Arizona, with Larod Stevens Howling in the backfield. So the rookie getting a lot of playing time early, goes in motion again, empty backfield. And Warner, short drop, pass tipped, it falls incomplete. And that's one of the keys for the 49ers. They want to come in with their hands up, don't they, Tim?
Well, I think when you're playing against a quarterback like Kurt Warner, you know where his launch point is. He's what you call a midline thrower. Most of the time, he is going to be right behind the center throwing the football. So they want to turn up the heat up the middle. And if they don't get there, get your hands up and get a shot on it. I think Isaac Sapuaga right there, pretty lucky to be able to get a deflection on that football. But that's what you want to do to a guy like Kurt Warner. You want to get up the middle to get him off the spot and get him moving sideways.
Dan Kreider, the 10-year fullback, is in the backfield. Hightower cuts it back, trying to find room outside, and the 49ers bring him down. Deshaun Goldson, he's making a start at free safety. He won the starting job. This is his 3rd year in the NFL, and he's thrilled about the opportunity to start.
And had a real good preseason, and I think, you know, holding off Beanie Wells, who was their 1st-round pick out of Ohio State, the running back, has been a big part of Tim Hightower's training camp. But I'll tell you, perfectly played there by San Francisco. And that's one thing when you look at their defense is accountability. This defense is really based on run fits. And that time you saw everybody was in their fit, which forced Hightower to the sideline. Then they could use their speed in the secondary to chase him down.
Ray Bly in as a 5th defensive back. 3 wide receivers for Arizona on 3rd and 8. Pressure on Warner. Got rid of it. It's caught by Hightower out of the backfield. He's down at the 35, short of the first down. Patrick Willis with the tackle. And the Cardinals come off. Good work by the San Francisco defense. Ray McDonald.
And that's the guy they really need to step up. He's coming off an injury, but Ray McDonald is their best interior pass rusher without question.
Allen Rawson deep to receive the punt by Ben Graham, who signed with the Cardinals at the beginning of December last season and re-signed. Rawson from the 13. Couple of moves. Trying to get outside, and he's pulled out of bounds. Back here in Arizona, Ken Whisenhunt in his 3rd season as head coach. His team's 14-4 at home, including the 2 playoff wins. 49ers start from the 26 with Sean Hill at quarterback. And it's Frank Gore coming up short. Thrown for a loss by Gerald Hayes. Good penetration. Hill steps back. 3 wide receivers. Michael Spurlock in the lineup. The handoff to Gore. He stopped. Another loss. Great penetration by Gerald Hayes again.
Well, that's 2 times in a row, and I think a real good job by Billy Davis. And here's Gerald here. They're blitzing the run up inside, and he has done a great job of identifying, or at least taking a guess that they're going to come out and try to run a couple of pound draws at us, that being Arizona. And Billy Davis has dialed up some inside pressure. Those 2 backers crossing it up, and Gerald Hayes has come through with 2 big tackles for loss.
5 yards lost on 2 carries. Brings up 3rd and 15.
And this is where Arizona should be their best, rushing the passer.
Cardinals have 6 defensive backs in. Hill gets time. Pass is caught, but short of the first down. And trying to fight for yardage was Josh Morgan, but too many Cardinals to the football. Good defensive series for Arizona.
Yeah, Billy Davis again, the new defensive coordinator here, who did spend some time in San Francisco, was all over it. And really, you want to talk about a coaching matchup. He had Jimmy Ray's number, the OC in San Francisco, in those first 2 plays, hit it perfectly.
They needed 15. They picked up 12. Antrell Roll is deep to receive the punt of Andy Lee. Steve Breston inactive. Good high punt. Antrell Roll looks around, takes it, slips 1 man, and gets a few yards up to the 27-yard line before he's brought down. Sean Hill, first time he's started a season opener. The number 2 man, you had a look at number 11, Alex Smith. Arizona on offense for the 2nd time with Tim Hightower and Dan Kreider in the backfield. Kreider spent last season with St. Louis after 9 years with Pittsburgh. Hightower stopped as he got to the line of scrimmage, maybe gets a yard. Manny Lawson with good penetration. Arizona would like to run the ball better this year than they did last year.
Well, they were the worst team in the league at running the football last year. And I think one thing, in talking to Coach Whisenhunt down the stretch, and you see there Timmy Hightower did have 10 touchdowns, only 2.8 yards per carry. And then they'll have Beanie Wells, who you see right there kind of waiting in the wings, the 1st-round pick. But Ken Whisenhunt couldn't talk enough about balance in their offense and how integral that running game was down the stretch for them in the playoffs, just getting enough out of the offensive line in the run game.
4 wide receivers in as Warner works out of the shotgun. Everybody out. Warner gets time. Nobody open. Dumps it off. Larry Fitzgerald takes a short pass, turns it into a big gain. There's a late flag coming in.
This one could be OPI on Larry Fitzgerald. Watch this. Nate Clements in coverage on him. He's taking away the inside. Now there's Larry. He just pushing off and
boy,
had his hands on his back. Nate just kind of tripped and fell down. Let's see what they're going to do here.
Pass interference. Offense.
Yep.
Number 11. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Wipes out a 21-yard gain. Larry Fitzgerald, you talk about a championship mentality. We were talking with him at length on Friday, and he says, I don't want to talk about last season. I want to be better. I want the team to be better. We have to have a championship mentality and get the job done.
Well, and he says all the right things, no question. I think one thing that is a feather in this team's cap that wasn't here before, the winning last year, but they got leadership on this team, Sammy, that they haven't had in a long time when you look at it.
2nd and 20. The ball on the 20. Movement on the line. Mike Gandy moved with Justin Smith in front of him. And Gandy saying Smith faked coming across. Don Carey, whose brother Mike Carey is a longtime referee in the NFL.
Ball start. Offense. Number 69. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Here it is over here. Mike Gandy, and he's pointing. He's already pointing, saying, he drew me off. It wasn't me. He's coming across. You see Justin Smith, he's out with a real wide 9 technique and did draw him off sides, but not so sure, Sam, he was in the neutral zone and really responsible at that point for drawing off the left tackle, Mike Gandy.
Back to the 15-yard line, 2nd and 25. Draw play to Hightower, and he gets it across the 20 to the 21. Bring up a 3rd and long for the Arizona Cardinals. Pickup of 6 on the play.
And there's a lot of changes with this offense. Of course, Todd Haley is gone. He's the offensive coordinator here last year, now the head coach in Kansas City. And you see Ken Wisenhunt, who has a long history of play calling in Pittsburgh and did it here his first year a couple of years ago. He's going to do the play calling. Russ Grimm in charge of the running game plan. Mike Miller, the wide receiver coach, who's now the passing game coordinator, is doing the passing game stuff in terms of the game plan. Wiz is doing the play calling on Sundays.
2 backs, 3 wideouts, and everybody out. Warner on 3rd and long. He has time, and the pass is picked off. Intercepted by Patrick Willis. Down at the Arizona 36. Patrick Willis, 2 years in the league, 2 times to the Pro Bowl.
I don't think Kurt ever saw him. That is just Pat Willis reading the eyes of the quarterback. He's in zone coverage. Here he is right here. Watch him drop back. And as he drops back, he's in a zone. You see him backpedal, and he's just reading the quarterback's eyes. Kurt drifts to the right. He's going to drift to his left. Gets right in the throwing lane and goes. As Kurt never saw him. There's no way Kurt saw him. Delivered that ball late, and Willis gets the interception.
In 2 games last season between these two teams, the 49ers did not have a takeaway. They get a turnover right here and are in good field position.
And the difference in those games, think about it. Arizona +8 in takeaway giveaway in 2 games versus San Francisco last year.
Moran Norris, the fullback. Frank Gore, the tailback. Sean Hill to put it up with time, short to Gore. Inside the 30. Norris shifts. Running across was Adrian Wilson, and they stopped the play. He came flying across way before the snap.
Offside. Defense, number 24, unabated to the quarterback. 2nd down, now result in a 1st down.
He's a guy, and you saw him there. He came early, but he came off the edge. And that's how Bill Davis, the defensive coordinator, will use him. And there's Billy right there, who's really, as you watch this defense today, you're going to see a lot of resemblances to what the Pittsburgh Steelers do. Now, I don't think they've got the personnel at this point in some key positions, but schematically, and that's where Billy learned under Bill Cowher and Dom Capers and Dick LeBeau. You're going to see a lot of that Pittsburgh stuff defensively today out of Arizona.
He's a former 49ers defensive coordinator under Mike Nolan. 1st down at the Arizona 23. Gore looking for room. And they hold closed quickly by Carlos Dansby.
Carlos Dansby, and really, I think being back in the middle of the defense is big for him. You know, they played him on the outside, Clancy Pendergast, earlier in his career, and really was just playing one half of the field. You got him in the middle now. He's super smart. He's super instinctive. He can make plays sideline to sideline, and really there a great evidence of patience waiting on Frank Gore to make his move.
Arizona crowd gets loud. Frank Gore inside the 20. Down about the 18-yard line. Frank Gore had his best year ever with Moran Norris as his lead blocker fullback. Now, he ran for over 1,000 yards last season, but running wasn't the key to the offense under Mike Martz.
No, not at all. And Jimmy Ray, I think, the offensive coordinator, and there he is he's going to want to really run this ball. And it's all game conditions and how the game sets up, and they've got to be in it score-wise. But he wants to run this football 60% of the time this year.
3rd and 6. Delaney Walker, one of 2 tight ends in, motions. Pressure coming. Hill throws deep for Josh Morgan. Dropped it. Covered by Bryant McFadden on the play. Looked like Morgan had it for a moment. McFadden knocked it away.
That's the right choice by the quarterback. You see man coverage. He knows he's got pressure coming the other way. He is just going to get it to his receiver in one-on-one. Looked like McFadden just got his right arm up inside there Oh, that's perfect defense from Bryant McFadden. That was a perfectly thrown ball by Sean Hill. McFadden was able to get his hands between the arms of Josh Morgan and knock it out for a big pass breakup.
McFadden coming over from the Super Bowl champion Pittsburgh Steelers. It's a free agent. Joe Nedney from 37 right down the middle. Andy Lee the holder. There's Sean Morey, one of the top special teams players in the league. Went to the Pro Bowl as the NFC special teams player. He plays on all teams, and here he's on the kickoff return. And throughout his career, he has been a top special teams player out of Brown University. Nendy did kick it off. Stevens Howling and Jason Wright deep. It's the rookie, LaRod Stevens-Howling. And he's brought down across the 20 and a late flag. Thrown by referee Don Carey. Rod Stevens-Howling had an 89-yard return for a touchdown in preseason.
Low block, number 49 of the receiving team. 15-yard penalty, half the distance to the goal, first down.
Cardinals from the 8, 2 tight ends in, motioning Jeremy Urban, the wide receiver. And it's Tim Hightower trying to get outside. Good pursuit by the 49ers. Nate Clements coming up, and Isaac Sopoaga with a good job from his defensive end position.
Watch Anthony Beck. Now, this is a good job on the defense, but watch what Beck is able to do against Manny Lawson. He is able to reach him. I mean, that's just perfect technique, which gives the edge. But Sopoaga and Nate Clements, Sopoaga in pursuit down the sideline does a real good job. Nate Clements coming up from the corner position to check that shoe size at Tim Hightower, but really a good job by Anthony Beck, at least giving the edge initially to Hightower on the run.
3 wide receivers in for Arizona on 2nd and 9. Anquan Bolden, Jeremy Urban, and Larry Fitzgerald. Under pressure, Warner throws, and it's dropped. Intended for Fitzgerald. It'll bring up a 3rd and 9. Todd Haley and Clancy Pendergrass, they were the coordinators last season here with Arizona. Todd Haley in Kansas City, and the Chiefs lost 38-24 and gave up 501 yards offense to Baltimore.
Now, I think early on in this game, and we saw it in the preseason, I think there's some growing pains without Todd Haley on this staff.
Warner dropping back to the end zone, dumps it off to Hightower, who spins but is brought down at the 13. And right now the 49ers defense has been outstanding. Another good play by Patrick Willis.
You're just not going to break a lot of tackles against those linebackers if you're throwing up in what they call the rally zone. And that's what San Francisco's doing. They're dropping back. They're earning the right to rush the passer by stopping the run and getting Warner in the 3rd and 6 pluses. And then what they're doing is they're just dropping back in zones, keeping everything in front of them. And if you do that to Patrick Willis, you're going to get tackled most of the time in front of the first down sticks.
Ben Graham, the left-footed punter, standing on the goal line. Allen Rossum is deep for San Francisco. Rossum has a chance to return. They hand it off on the return. Nate Clements out of bounds up at the 44-yard line. So a little razzle-dazzle from Al Everest, the special teams coach. 46-yard punt and a 4-yard return. And there's a flag down back in 49ers territory. Well, there is Al Everest, an outstanding special teams coach.
He's been around for a long time,
Yes,
Al Everest. I know Kevin Spencer, the special teams coach in Arizona. I know you were talking to him. He's taken a lot of stuff over the years that Al Everest has done on the field from a coaching standpoint in terms of the special teams.
Tremendous respect for Al.
12 men on the receiving team. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Well, if he said 4th down, that means they're coming back to re-kick it.
Well, let's check this out now. A 5-yard penalty.
That gives him a first
down.
down.
Might give him a first down. That's
I think
what Mike
it will.
Singletary wants to know.
Yep.
And Ken Wisenhunt
12
out there.
men. Defense. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
There it is.
So, Don Carey comes back with a call, and Mike Singletary's got to be very pleased with that. But, I mean, very unhappy with that.
Exactly.
Figuring out how 12 men got on the field.
I think a couple of things. I mean, it's been a little sloppy early by Arizona, but you can say the same thing for San Francisco defensively. Right there, 12 men on the field, and had the holding call earlier when they had an opportunity to get off the field from Justin Smith holding an offensive lineman. So certainly hurt themselves a little bit here with penalties in the first quarter.
Both teams have been guilty, and Mike Singletary talked to us about discipline, one of the key factors for his team that he has preached and try to pound into his team.
I think both teams have that, and I think anytime you're trying to change a culture, and look, they got great tradition in San Francisco, great tradition with all the winning, but over the last several years it hasn't been there. So I think that's what all coaches do. Mike Singletary is going to challenge whether there was 12 men on the field or not. Certainly a challengeable play. But I think both of these coaches, when you're trying to change a culture, you come in and start with discipline.
San Francisco is challenging the ruling on the field of 12 men on the defense.
I think this is a good challenge by Mike Singletary, and saying that he didn't have 12 guys on the field. And if you look at it, there's 8 here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8.
Right.
And I believe there's 3 deep. So 8 and 3 is 11. See, there's the 3 there. 1, 2, 3. So
that's 11.
I think Mike Singletary got it right.
Unless the official got confused by one of the blockers on the far side who was out of bounds and then came back on the field.
Yeah, they only doubled over here, and maybe they thought it was 2 by 2 in terms of doubling up the gunners, but I think that's what replay's for. Clearly you can see by these pictures that San Francisco only had 11 guys on the return unit there.
Good job by Mike Singletary on the challenge as we await the official ruling from Don Carey. And of course, he needs conclusive evidence to overturn a call on the field, but it looks pretty conclusive to us. The 2 head coaches. There's Don Carey.
How inspired were you when we were talking with Mike Singletary yesterday and just listening to his message to his football team?
He's very impressive, and he is a no-nonsense guy who worked his team hard in pads all preseason. There was a lot of heat out on the West Coast. He worked his guys into top condition, and the guys told us, thank goodness that Camp Singletary is over. We want to get the season going.
And the thing I liked about it is there was no resistance from the players. I spent some time with them out on the West Coast, and Mike did finish up the season last year, and the guys talked about how he'll revolutionize the game in terms of his coaching style. But a lot of times when you get a new coach, guys don't like all the changes. They don't like all the regimented work ethic stuff, and every guy I talked to, from the top guys on the team to some of the bottom guys on the team, zero resistance from the players.
Here's the ruling from Don Carey.
After the review, there were only 11 players on the field. It will be Arizona's ball, 1st and 10 on the San Francisco ball on the San Francisco 44-yard line, 1st and 10. Arizona is charged with a timeout.
Oh, that shouldn't be. It's done.
San Francisco is not charged with a timeout.
That's it. All right. It's Don's first game, regular season in the NFL, so
he's a carry. He'll be fine.
But a good challenge by Mike Singletary. The 49ers get the ball and start at their own 44-yard line. And it's been a good start to the game for San Francisco. Arizona crowd getting loud. 2 tight ends. Delaney Walker shifts. Sean Hill being pressured by Hayes, dumps it off to Walker. Picks up a couple of blocks and stays in bounds in Arizona territory down to the 40-yard line. Nice play by Delaney Walker.
Yeah, Delaney Walker. Now, this I think is their best formation when you see it. Delaney Walker is going to pop right out. Watch what happens here. And again, it's a blitz, so I think a good call from Jimmy Ray diagnosing the blitz. Let's just run a little screen to it. They hit it perfectly. Some good blocks out on the edge. And Delaney Walker now for a tight end. And that guy gets the ball in his hands. He really can run like a receiver. And I think that's their best personnel grouping, that 2 tight ends, 1 running back.
They had 4 in camp. They kept 2 tight ends, Vernon Davis and Delaney Walker. They're both versatile tight ends. On first down after a 17-yard pickup, that pass caught by Davis. No, after the hit, there's a flag on Adrian Wilson. It may have been a hit to the head.
There's no question it's a hit on a defenseless receiver. No question about it. You got to wait till the receiver's got both feet down before you can hit him above the neck, and clearly that didn't happen. You can't hit him with your arm, your shoulder, your helmet, anything. You got to hit him below the neck if he's still in the air.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 24. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Right down the seam with Vernon Davis. They're back in a cover 3, which is 3 deep, and you see it. Vernon went up to get the football. Yeah, that's helmet to helmet. That's everything bad right there. And Adrian Wilson just tattooed him from the neck up. That's a good call by the official.
Adrian Wilson, a great player and a hard hitter, but that is a rule that will be strictly enforced this year.
And it's going to be really hard for these secondary guys to change up how they played their whole lives.
First down at the Arizona 24. Frank Gore. There's a wall there. He's trying to push the pile. And he gets it back to the line of scrimmage. Delaney Walker splits out wide. Fan reaction to the penalty call. 2nd and 10. Hill rushed. He's in trouble. He throws it away. Big time pressure from Gabe Watson and Calais Campbell. There was some talk about was it intentional grounding, but he got it back to the line of scrimmage.
Intentional grounding on the play. The pass got back to the line of scrimmage.
And that's something new. You must get the ball back to the line of scrimmage.
That's right, even if you're out of the pocket. And that's the caveat to it. You do have to get it to the line of scrimmage. Good rush right up the gut there by Gabe Watson. Like Calais Campbell quite a bit. 93, you see him right there, 2nd-year player out of Miami. Boy, you watch the preseason tape, and 93 showed up everywhere. They're real excited, and he's got to come through with the departure of Antonio Smith.
3rd and 10. 4 wide receivers in. Cards 6 defensive backs. They blitz. Hill in trouble. They've got him. Chike O'Keefer with the sack on Sean Hill. What a defensive series that was after the penalty on Adrian Wilson.
Yeah, terrific stop for them. And you watch, they're coming with pressure right up the gut here. And that's Sean Hill basically, to me, just gets lost. He doesn't know what he's seeing here. Look at all the action in front of him. And then Chike O'Keefer is able to come from the outside. It was Dansby and Wilson, though, up the middle that I think forced Sean Hill to panic a little bit when Chike O'Keefer then was able to get him down.
Joe Nedney will attempt a 50-yard field goal. Andy Lee, the holder. It's got the distance, and it's good. Nedney with the big leg, a 50-yarder.
Man, I wished it was me in the corner of the end zone that would have had something to do with trying to defend that final play.
Joe Nedney's kick. LaRod Stevens Howling brings it out of the end zone. Stumbled and falls forward to the 22-yard line. Kenny Webema went to the sideline for the Arizona Cardinals, hurting.
Kurt's got to get the ball to his weapons. No catches for Fitz or Bolden in the first quarter of the football game.
Kurt Warner 2 for 6 for 9 yards thus far out of the shotgun with time. Puts it up long for Jeremy Urban. Good grab. He is down inside the 40. He beat Nate Clements on the play. Jeremy Urban, a valuable receiver.
What a throw from Kurt Warner, just leading him. I want you to watch Goldson here, who's got deep half. He's in his back pedal, comes all the way across the field, and he just can't get back there. You see him trailing a little bit late. Really a good throw from Kurt Warner. Leading Urban and really using the hash marks as a landmark, throwing right down the hash marks and allowed Jeremy Urban to extend away from Nate Clements and get the big catch.
They had the 3 1,000-yard receivers. We know that: Larry Fitzgerald, Anquan Bolden, and Steve Preston. But Urban has shown he can be a valuable receiver, and he went deep, a pickup of 40 on the play. Cardinals from the end, again movement on the line. Anthony Beck moved on the right side.
Full start. Offense, number 84, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down. Repeat first down.
6th penalty for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, they have, and I don't want to say they got a Super Bowl hangover. We're so early in this football game, but they were in a funk all preseason. The exception of Matt Leinart in the second half of that game against Green Bay, where they just tore it up. The offense, Kurt Warner didn't throw a touchdown the whole preseason. They've come out and they have been sloppy. You just mentioned the penalties here early in the first quarter.
4 wide receivers in for Arizona. That's Fitzgerald in motion. 1st and 15. Drop it off to Hightower by himself. Slips Willis inside the 30 and out of bounds at the 28. He's right at the first down marker. Nice moves. That was all Tim Hightower.
Well, and you can see that he's got pretty good heat, because Patrick Willis is a guy that can turn on the juice, and Hightower does have a good angle on him there, and Patrick Willis can't run him down. Real good block on Dre Bly, who was playing the slot. That was really the key in spring. And watch, so you'll see the block slide into your screen. Oh, it already happened, but it was a key block on Dre Bly in the slot. And I think it was Larry Fitzgerald who was able to seal the edge out there, blocking the nickel corner.
And now Hightower comes off, and the 1st-round draft pick, Beanie Wells out of Ohio State, is in for his first action. It looked like an attempted handoff, and Warner on the broken play is dropped for a loss. Back to the 33-yard line. No.
Yeah, Kurt dropped the ball, but I think he was already down in his slide, and clearly down before the ball came out.
Pressured, gets rid of it to Hightower. Nice move by Tim Hightower. Gets down to the 26-yard line. Dragged down by the combination of Michael Lewis and Patrick Willis.
Here's what you want to do to Kurt Warner. There's the midline. That's his spot. You got to get him off his spot going one way or the other. Oh, nice move by Paris Harrelson coming inside. Now Kurt is much better running to his right and throwing to his right than he is going to his left. Good job by him. And a veteran quarterback, knowing where his check down is when he was in trouble, he just flipped it out to Hightower.
Here's 3rd and 8. 4 wide receivers for the Cardinals. 3 to the left side. Warner gets time. Good blocking up front. The pass behind Anquan Bolden, almost picked off by Dre Bly. That was a little off on that throw by Kurt Warner. You can see he's unhappy. Now the Cardinals will try to put some points on the board as they bring out Neil Rackers. Kurt Warner said he'll have to make some adjustments with head coach Ken Wisenhunt, because last year he and Todd Haley were in sync offensively.
Yeah, and I think there's some layers now that he's got to get through to really get to the bottom of that offense with his head coach.
Rackers from 44.
Happy for Jim Caldwell in his first game, and of course Brad Childress in Minnesota. And you mentioned it, Brett's number's not great, but 34 points on the road speaks for itself.
They put Rossum in the corner as he returns for San Francisco. Rackers got a piece of him. How about Rackers down the field?
Easy, Neil.
He's wild.
Slow your roll, Daddy. Slow your roll. Remember that game in the opener last year? They really exclusively went to Anquan Bolden in the second half. Big part of winning that game.
Hill, empty backfield, dumps it off short to Vernon Davis, the tight end, up to the 26-yard line.
And I think you got to feel good if you're Billy Davis. There he is, the defensive coordinator. I think one of their ambitions today is stop Frank Gore early. Do not let Frank Gore come in and have big pops in the football game, in particular in the first half, which historically he has been able to do. You look at Frank so far in this game, 5 rushes for -1 yard. Job well done by Billy Davis's defense.
Yeah, he's had a 0 and 2 minus carries. 2nd and 5. Here's Gore. No hole. They plugged it well. Calais Campbell was there with Clark Higgins.
Well, those linebackers will get the glory, but the guy who made it work was Alan Branch, who's down there. Watch him. Watch what he does to Adam Snyder. They're trying to run the ball here. Oh, he's just going to stand up the tight end on the down block. Vernon Davis had no chance against him. Down and around, Vernon's got to try to seal it. And what Alan Branch was able to do was basically pick him up and throw him into the hole, which forced the cutback so the backers could get there.
And Branch is showing he can play nose tackle or defensive end. There's a big 3rd and 5. Cards are coming. He completes it to Josh Morgan. Good job by Sean Hill of hanging in there and completing the pass for a first down. Up to the 44-yard line, a pickup of 17.
Well, and they're turning up the heat again, and it's right up the middle. Adrian Wilson coming up. See what Dansby does. He's also going to flash through there. Calais Campbell. Good work by Sean Hill, just keeping his eyes down the field with all that pressure coming up in his face, and is able to get it to Josh Morgan on a shallow crossing route.
Sean Hill won the starting job from Alex Smith in preseason. Actually a carryover from the way he finished last season. Robinson in motion. Looked like Darnell Dockett was offside. He busted through and took down Sean Hill, but I think he was offside. And you can see he's upset.
Yeah, that's what the great pass rushers do.
Offside. Defense, number 90. 5-yard penalty. First down.
You know, most of the good ones anticipate the snap count, but his eyes should be right in there looking at the ball. He fell for the hard count from Sean Hill. There's no doubt he was offsides in the backfield before they even snapped the ball.
7 penalties on the Arizona Cardinals. All up to the 46. It's a 1st and 5. Isaac Bruce motions. Bruce on the end around. Trying to get outside. The Cardinals do a great job. Isaac just didn't seem to have the jump to get to the outside.
Well, I know he's still got a lot of juice running routes. We saw him run a reverse last year in one of the games we did, and I'm not so sure that this is his forte anymore. And Arizona really did a good job of blitzing right into it, and once he came around the corner, there was about 4 or 5 red jerseys there to tackle him for a loss.
Loss of 8 on the play brings up 2nd and 13. Cardinals defense has gotten fired up. When they avoid the penalties, they've been playing pretty well. Hill. Outside for Josh Morgan. Good catch. Came down inbounds at the 49-yard line.
You can see what he's all about, Josh Morgan. He's going to come and just do a comeback route. Now watch how he comes back to the football, and then he's got great leaping ability and a good job there on McFadden by coming down, Morgan, and getting both toes in. That's what the good ones do. They run those deep outs and they come back to the football and just hope that it's on time from the quarterback, and it was that time to Josh Morgan.
Mike Martz loved him, said he was going to be a good receiver, and this is a big opportunity from him with Michael Crabtree unsigned. Morgan gets a lot of time. 3 catches in the game for 38 yards. On 3rd and short, swinging out of his block. Big defensive play by 6'8" Calais Campbell.
He read this the whole way. This is a good job by the defensive line coach, having him tuned into the down and distance. And you get to a 3rd and 4 or less, they're going to try to throw the quick pass, and he just comes off the edge. He's thinking quick pass all the way, reads the quarterback, jumps up, uses that 6'8" frame and those long arms, and bats it down, because Frank Gore certainly had room to pick up the first down if Calais doesn't bat it.
2nd punt of the game for Andy Lee. Good high kick. Fair catch wait for by Antrell Roll. He takes it at the 11-yard line.
I'll tell you, he studies more than any other player on the defense.
Cardinals, Beanie Wells carrying for the first time in the NFL, and he's stacked up. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. Yeah, there's Patrick Willis, and you said it. You know what I like in talking to him? He comes out and says, I want to be one of the best to ever play the game. I mean, that's his goal, to be one of the best to ever play in the NFL.
Well, he's told me more than once, I want to wear that yellow jacket when I'm done with my career. And I think he's doing it the right way. He studies, he gets after it, he asks a million questions. They'll even tell you he has questions about everything.
He's
always talking, but he just doesn't want to know how, but he wants to know why, which I think is important to know.
Beanie Wells comes out of the game. It's Rod Stevens howling in motion. Warner being pressured. They got him. Paris Harrelson, who led the team in sacks last season, comes up with his first.
And he is their best pass rusher, Paris Harrelson. You'll see him here. He's going to come from the left side, the right side of the offense. Remember, he beat Levi Brown with an inside move last time. This time, he just runs right around him. Levi Brown really setting hard on the inside, and you see Paris Harrelson using the athletic ability and speed just to get around the corner and get a big, big sack on Warner.
49ers want to get more pass rush. Last season, Harrelson with 8 and Justin Smith with 7. Two guys had half of the team's 30 sacks.
Yeah, this is the guy they need to come through this year, Ray McDonald.
Warner calls time, didn't like what he saw.
You see it everywhere, and it's something they can hang their hat on now. But I think Mike, in Mike's opinion, is the more they win, and he expects them to, the more it'll be about the players and not about Mike Singletary.
Cardinals 0 for 4 on 3rd down. Warner drops it off to Hightower, and he's brought down at the 14, short of a first down. Curtin Warner has completed 6 passes in the game, 5 to the back, Tim Hightower. So a good job by the 49ers shutting down the wide receivers.
Yeah, no catches for Bolden or Fitzgerald in this football game. And again, another real nice job by Paris Harrelson. Levi Brown is having a real hard time with him out at right tackle. Forced Warner up into the pocket and really made him take the check down to where the defense could rally up and hold him short.
The punt by Ben Graham, taken by Allen Rossum at the 30. Dancing a little bit and then tripped up. And brought down. There's a late flag on the play. Ali Highsmith with the tackle. 55-yard punt and a 6-yard return. Let's check out the flag with Don Carey.
Illegal block in the back. Number 38 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Defense rules so far in the game as you look at the head coaches. 49ers minus 9 yards rushing. Arizona plus 9 yards rushing. Not much at all. And Frank Gore, 6 carries, minus 1 yard.
I know Mike Singletary's happy with his defense and how they've really throttled down Arizona in that high-octane attack, but he can't be happy with his offensive line. Told us yesterday that he really likes this group, thinks they're going to be something special. Right now, they're pretty much getting it handed to him, Sam, in the running game.
49ers start from the 27. Crowd very loud. What a penetration. Great play by Darnell Dockett. He wrapped up Glenn Coffey, making his NFL debut, the rookie out of Alabama, with his first run.
Watch him just split the offensive lineman, Darnell Dockett. Starts with a great get-off. Shiloh Rachel, the right guard, missteps, and Dockett has a free lane right to Glenn Coffey. And if there's one guy you can't make a mental error on in terms of stepping wrong and trying to get the block, it's Darnell Dockett. Shiloh Rachel was beat from his first step on that play.
Another run for minus yardage for the 49ers. 2nd and 13. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up. And the throw by Hill is too long. Way overthrown, intended for Vernon Davis. Double coverage down the field. Sean Hill, 6 for 10, 68 yards in the game.
Here's Vernon Davis going out on the route. No jam, free access on him, and I think Sean just got it out before he felt like he was going to get hit. The pressure was coming up on him. They did pick up Adrian Wilson. Sean Hill got a little happy feet there and let go of that football probably before he had to.
49ers have to get to the 37 for a first down. Wilson threatening the blitz. Here they come. Hill steps up. Good catch by Arnaz Battle. It's very close. They give him forward progress. It's very close to the first down marker. Might be a little short. might be half a yard short.
I think so. I think it's probably less than that, maybe a football short.
It was a good throw and a good catch on his battle, the third wide out.
You know, conversely, talking about Singletary not happy with his O-line, Billy Davis on the other side and Ken Wisenhunt got to be thrilled at how their front seven on defense has really taken the game to the 49ers in terms of all the minus yards in their rushing game today.
Stretch out the chain.
Football
And
short.
you're right. Yep. All right. And the punting unit comes out for San Francisco. Boy, the temptation's got to be so great. You see that short distance and you say, boy, I'd like to take a shot.
Maybe if you were rolling for about 6 yards a carry, you'd feel better about it today, but at minus whatever it is, it's not good. Minus 12 yards rushing in the game.
Antro roll inside his 20. Third punt of the game for Andy Lee. Line drive that bounces and is downed immediately by Michael Spurlock.
They're in a funk so far in this game, I'll tell you that.
Trying to find some offense here. Tim Hightower barrels ahead across the 25. A terrific job defensively by the 49ers, especially shutting down two of the best receivers in the NFL in Larry Fitzgerald, who led the NFC with 96 catches last season, and Anquan Bolden, who's right behind with 89. Stephen Breston is inactive today, but both have been shut down. Four wideouts in there now. Jeremy Urban and Lance Long join Bolden and Fitzgerald. Warner to Bolden. His first catch of the game. He's coming off a hamstring injury, a little tender. He didn't practice much this week. He worked on his own, was running well on Friday, worked out yesterday, and was a go after a workout this morning.
I didn't think, and I know talking to Ken Wisenhunt, and pretty much the consensus around the media and around the country that he wasn't going to play. And it didn't, as you said, didn't do much all week. Kenny Wisenhunt said, you know what, I got a great communication factor with him. I can look at Q and I can tell if he's going to be able to go or not. And clearly in the workout this morning, he felt right about it.
Here's 3rd and 2. Warner being rushed, throws, and the ball is out of the hands of Lance Long. Incomplete once again. The Cardinals fail to convert on 3rd down. They are 0 for 6.
Well, and Kurt does a nice throwing lane right there, and that ball's got to be caught. Bottom line. And a good job by the offensive line picking up the blitz pressure that San Francisco was bringing, and Kurt was able to step up perfectly in the pocket, deliver a strike. That ball's got to be caught.
Ben Graham with his 4th punt of the game. And they stop the play, false start. Is the indication against Arizona.
False start. Offense. Number 95. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
That's penalty number 8 on the Arizona Cardinals here in the first half.
I'm pretty sure they haven't converted a 3rd down yet.
No, 0 for 6.
Whoa.
Allen Rawson deep. Graham. Good kick. Strong leg. Rawson backs up to the 19. And a good play by the rookie Larod Stevens-Howling. That's what they like him on the outside. He's quick, and he got there to make the tackle. Now, for more on what's going on with the Cardinals wide receivers, let's go to Nichelle Turner.
Well, you guys have been talking about Larry Fitzgerald having no catches, and that might be because of who's covering him. Now, he's being covered by Shante Spencer. He and Larry Fitzgerald went to Pitt together. Both of them have known each other for about 10 years, and I asked Shante this morning, is it an advantage or disadvantage to know him so well? He said he thinks it's a disadvantage for him because Larry's game has grown so much. He still plays basically the same, but he says he knows he's going to cover him tough and have his hands full today. He's doing a pretty good job. Back to you.
You're right, Nichelle. Thanks. Frank Gore on the carry. Here's some positive yardage. Up to the 35, a pickup of 3. Gore is now 7 carries for 2 yards.
Yeah, and Shante Spencer has had a good day so far against Larry Fitzgerald. But Shantae's a big corner. He's a guy that goes over 6'1" and really wasn't named starter until about a week ago. Everybody thought it was going to be Terrell Brown or Dre Bly coming off of a knee injury. Mike Singletary said this guy came back so polished. He said he improved on his own in the offseason and was able to really win that job out at corner.
2 tight ends in for the 49ers. It's Gore behind Moran Norris. Just gets a couple on the play up to the 37-yard line. So the 49ers go back to the ground game.
And I like the counter, the power game against a 3-4 defense because it's all angle blocking. It's not the zone blocking. You got offensive linemen that are out pulling, blocking down, getting guys on angles, and it just hasn't worked against that front for Arizona today.
But Jimmy Ray told us, the offensive coordinator of the 49ers, they have to be patient in the running game.
He will be. You know, Mike Martz always said it in terms of being patient with the running game. There's no doubt in my mind Jimmy Ray will do it in terms of the patience.
Here's 3rd and 5. The play fake, Hill with time. Throws short to Gore. And he's got the first down. Good effort by Frank Gore. Frank Gore's got all the tools. He's tough, strong, not a big man in stature, but very strong. He's got good hands, runs the ball well. And the ball up to close to the 44-yard line.
He may be the only guy that loved the work ethic of Camp Singletary. Everybody was dog-tired. He said he liked it.
Alan Branch in for Darnell Dockett on the Cardinals defensive line. Hill with time, throwing deep to the sideline for Delaney Walker, overthrown, and 3 Cardinals around Delaney Walker. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, Antrell Roll, and Adrian Wilson.
I think that's one area when you look at Arizona is they want to play better in the secondary. They gave up 36 touchdowns over the top last year. It was the most in the National Football League in giving up touchdown passes, and it's that guy right there who's got great talent. But as Billy Davis said, he's still a child out there. And then McFadden, they were absolutely stoked to get him over from Pittsburgh in terms of really knowing all those Steeler concepts and help sell them to the rest of this Arizona team.
They split Delaney Walker wide, 2nd and 10. Hill looking to the sideline for Walker. He had him briefly, but he overthrew him. Adrian Wilson came over with a little late coverage.
Look at that.
56 touchdowns given up last season.
And it's the big plays.
Yeah.
That's the killer, too. I mean, 20-yard passes, 13 of them over the top that were 20-plus. And at the end of the day, it cost them a world championship.
You're right. And as Billy Davis was saying to us, they want to keep opposing teams to the teams, cut down the points against, because they feel their offense will be fine and they'll win a lot of games. Roll faking the blitz. Hill on 3rd down. Pump fake going deep. He's got a man. It's Isaac Bruce. And he's down at the 5-yard line. Isaac Bruce beat Brian McFadden one-on-one for a 51-yard pickup. Make it 50 yards officially.
Now watch the double move out on the edge by Isaac Bruce. You need time to have this. He's going to stick it outside, come right back in, turns McFadden around. And a perfect throw from Sean Hill. Play action. The rush could not get there. Sean had all day to throw and just delivered a strike. That's what Isaac Bruce does. Route running. He spins corners.
He's 6 yards away from 15,000 in his career. Frank Gore up the middle. Touchdown! 2 big plays by the 49ers. The 50-yard pass to Isaac Bruce, and then Frank Gore busting through with good blocking up front, led by the middle of that line, David Boss, Eric Heitman, and Chilo Rachel. Seven plays, 68 yards, and Frank Gore finishes it off.
But Chilo Rachel had just an unbelievable down block on Darnell Dockett on that play, just washing him all the way down the line of scrimmage. You'll see it right here. Now watch him take him and push him all the way over here. Just blows him up. David Boss is able to get a clear little lane to run up and through and pull, and then Of course, Gore, he's his own best blocker. One guy's not going to get him down.
Joe Nedney's extra point is good. And the first touchdown of the season. Frank Gore with a touchdown run, and the 49ers with a 13-3 lead.
And this is what Mike Singletary wants. Physical up front, just mauling guys. And that was, when you talk about the counter game, it's all got to be in sync. And it was right there. And Frank Gore, yeah, Frank Gore certainly is. That ball has crossed the plane of the end zone before anything touches the ground. His knees come down, but they come down on the defender, not on the field of play. Touchdown.
Good effort by Frank Gore. A run of 6 yards for the touchdown. What a play, though, going back to the pass to Isaac Bruce. Terrific play.
Who said Sean Hill can't throw deep?
Showed us something there.
Look at Tom Rathman coaching his running back. How good is it to have Rathman back in the 49er organization? Had a stop here with Mariucci. Of course, a great player in the heyday with San Francisco. And Tommy's just a terrific guy and got great passion. Was with Mariucci here, then went over to Detroit and coached with Mooch, and then to Oakland, and comes back across the bay to be back in the right spot with the San Francisco 49ers.
So the 49ers have opened up the lead here to 10 points. Back deep, Rod Stevens Howling and Jason Wright. Howling comes over. The good kickoff by Nedney. Bounces deep in the end zone for the touchback. And we're just underway in the NFL. Cardinals have one timeout remaining. And Kurt Warner with 4 wideouts. Sends Hightower out of the backfield, being pressured, gets away, and as he goes down, he throws an interception. Nate Clements picks it off. And Kurt with an ill-advised pass. He was on his way down. 2 guys hit him, and Nate Clements with the interception.
Paris Harrelson is having a field day against Levi Brown out there. They can't block him. He has had consistent heat. He's going to come all the way from around here. He's going to force Kurt up, and then it's Manny Lawson who comes from the other side, who Kurt doesn't see there. Now Kurt's got to get up. He does not know Manny Lawson is coming, and just as he's getting hit, he unloads the football, and an easy pick for Nate Clements.
Second interception by the 49ers defense. Patrick Willis earlier, Nate Clements here, and the 49ers in good field position at the 34 of Arizona.
I think Nate Clements is going to have a big year. He looks better physically than I've seen him since he was in Buffalo. He's ready to go.
2 tight ends, 2 backs. Frank Gore carrying the cut back. Gets him inside the 30-yard line. We come down to the 2-minute warning. Kurt Warner's numbers not good. He had off-season hip surgery, but he says he's pain-free right now, and he's feeling well.
I'm not so sure I believe that. He also said it wasn't 100%. So something we're going to have to watch throughout the day and really throughout the year with Kurt Warner.
49ers at the Arizona 30, 2nd and 6. Off the play fake. Hill in trouble. Dockett's got him. Big play by Darnell Dockett, one of the stars in the Super Bowl for the Arizona Cardinals.
3 sacks in the Super Bowl. And watch him right here. He's going to blow right through a double team of Adam Snyder and the left guard, David Boss. No chance. No chance. And when you're pulling guys, that penetration kills it. Saw Shalo Rishal try to pull out to the right. Boss was coming over from the left guard, and the penetration from Dockett absolutely blew it up and pushed San Francisco right out of field goal range.
That's right. There's a big 3rd down play, 3rd and 19. 3 wide receivers in. Michael Spurlock is in as the 3rd. Blitz coming, and Roll with the hit. Antrell Roll got there to break up the play. The ball is being returned by by Bertrand Berry, but I believe that pass was incomplete. Berry picked it up, hoping to convince the officials that he had picked it off.
This is what they've got in terms of Bill Davis on defense. Personnel that can do a lot of everything. Guys that can cover, guys that can rush, guys that can play the run, and this time it was Antrell Roll.
113. Please set the game clock to 113.
Watch Roll. He's going to get down there late. He's going to come off the edge, unblocked. Yeah, and the ball was still in his hand. as Sean Hill's arm was coming forward.
Big play, 2 back-to-back defensive plays. Darnell Dockett and Antrell Roll.
They're going to review this upstairs.
Okay, that's an automatic booth review in the final 2 minutes. So they will check it out, but
so if the arm is coming forward and the ball's still in the hand, it's an incomplete pass. And Roll's doing the right thing. He's going to attack the arm. Was it coming loose before his arm got cocked? That's the question. Is the ball already coming loose? Yeah, it's already coming loose.
Boy.
That's going to be a fumble. That's going to be a fumble. Because the ball is coming loose before Roll actually hits him. See, right there, the ball's already coming loose as he hit it with his shoulder. That's a fumble.
If it's ruled a fumble, the Cardinals will recover. It won't be a touchdown return, but they'll recover at the spot of the fumble.
I think it's going to be Cardinals football. Watch Roll. He just gets it with his arm and shoulder pad right there. The ball's already coming loose before the motion of the hand starts coming forward. Yeah, that's a fumble. That's a fumble.
So the good outside pressure from Antrell Roll on the blitz. So it will not be ruled a touchdown because the play was whistled dead. So it would be, if they rule fumble, they will rule a fumble and a recovery by the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, and they clearly, as the caveat to it, clearly saw who recovered the ball, and that being a Cardinal. You know, it's just like down by contact. It's real simple. You know, they can go back and review it, see if it was a pass fumble,
right,
and so they can get that part right. And then they've got to see who clearly can recover the ball before they give it to him. But the whole caveat to it is you can't advance it.
Right.
So they're doing it all right here.
Now let's take a look at where Bertrand Berry recovered. If it's ruled a fumble, that's about the 40-yard line of Arizona.
This should be Arizona ball right on the 40.
All right, here comes the official announcement.
The ruling on the field is reversed. It was a fumble and a clear recovery by Arizona. 1st and 10, Arizona on the 40-yard line. They may not advance the football.
So here we go, a big play, couple of big plays. First it was the Bertrand Berry sack, and that followed by the blitz by Antrell Roll that forced the fumble.
And critical, I think, for this offense to try to get a little momentum before they go in at halftime. And Roll's big play is going to allow them to be able to do that.
Cardinals have 1 timeout remaining.
Sam, Arizona offensively, one of the best offenses in the league last year. They don't even have 100 yards of total offense.
91 yards, 12 yards rushing, 79 yards passing.
And no catches by their big 2, Fitzgerald and Bolden, I believe, has 1.
I'm trying to find the right 40-yard line. They had walked into San Francisco territory. Now they've got it. It's the Arizona 40. Minute 15 remaining in the first half. And the Cardinals looking to come alive. Four wide receivers in. Warner is 7 for 14 with 2 interceptions. Bolden motions. Pressure from the outside. Dump off to Hightower. Good pickup into San Francisco territory. Didn't get out of bounds though. Clock keeps moving. Ball spotted at the 49ers 46-yard line. A pickup of 14 on the play.
What do you do to help yourself with the pass rush? Paris Harrelson over here has just been killing them. Throw a screen his way. Nice play call.
Tim Hightower 6 catches in the game. Warner to Hightower, his 7th catch, and he gets out of bounds. Now they're in field goal territory at the 33-yard line. Neil Rackers getting ready. 41 seconds to go. But Tim Hightower has become a very valuable receiver for Kurt Warner.
That's because San Francisco's done a terrific job covering down the field, but he's had to go with Hightower on the checkdowns.
A career high 7 catches for Tim Hightower. This, of course, only his second year in the NFL. Again, 4 wide receivers. Everybody out. Warner in trouble, and he is dropped. Back at the 38-yard line, and now the Cardinals use their final timeout. Ray McDonald got there for the sack.
You mentioned earlier
Arizona has used all its timeouts. Kurt Warner talking to head coach Ken Wisenhunt. 4 wide receivers from the 49ers 38. Warner with time outside of Jeremy Urban, out of bounds at the 32-yard line. 29 seconds remaining. And a 3rd and long coming up, 3rd and 9. Warner hitting his last 3 in a row. He's only had 3 receivers catch passes. Hightower has caught 7, Urban 2, and Bolden 1. Bolden motions. Everybody out. Warner in trouble, and a great catch by Larry Fitzgerald. He is down at the 22-yard line with a clock running in Arizona out of timeouts. They get to the line of scrimmage. Warner spikes it. Ooh, looked like he was hurting.
Looks like his
Something
hands
happened
hurt.
there.
Yeah, his right hand. He's got some issues with his right hand.
Was he hurt on the previous hit as he got rid of the ball? Neil Racker's coming in with 11 seconds remaining. They won't take a chance without timeouts. And Kurt is a competitor, boy.
You know, he's on a 31-game playing streak. He's got a history of, you know, not making it through the season. He's gone 31 straight games without missing.
Rackers from 40. Ben Graham, the holder. The long snapper is Mike Leach. And a flag and a false start. And another penalty on Arizona. And another flag is just thrown by the other official. And they're saying somebody jumped offside, so we had possibly 2 fouls on the play. We'll check it. Warner being checked out by the medical staff.
There is no foul for a false start. The foul is unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense, disconcerting signals, automatic first down.
So the 49ers apparently yelling.
Send the offense back out. Yeah, I think it was Justin Smith that was yelling signals. That's unsportsmanlike conduct, trying to get those guys to jump. So they call it on them, and I think they're doing the right thing here. First down, send Warner back on the field and take a couple shots with 11 seconds.
All right, half the distance to the goal puts them down at the 12-yard line. So here's a chance to go into the end zone, though we don't know how much pain Kurt Warner's got in that right hand. He's flexing it. Ball at the 11-yard line with no timeouts remaining. And the Cardinals trying to get into the end zone. Warner steps up.
Right to Fitz.
Fitzgerald goes up. It's a little too high. Nate Clemens covering. Fitzgerald wanted a flag. And no flag on the play. 5 seconds to go, and now Neil Rackers will come back out.
And that's a good play by Nate Clemens. Free access, gives all that room to Larry Fitzgerald, and then just goes up and makes a play on the football.
just a little too high.
Overthrown, yep. But I think it was the coverage by Nate Clements on the body there of Larry Fitzgerald that didn't allow Larry to go up and get the ball at his highest point.
Neil Rackers from 29. And it's just inside the upright, and the Cardinals take advantage of the turnover. The recovery of the fumble.
You know what? Give credit to Arizona defensively, too. They have really hammered San Francisco at their own game in terms of shutting down that run. And it was one big play, and it was Bryant McFadden getting spun around on a great double move route from Isaac Bruce that got him right down into the touchdown range. And then, of course, Gore gets in with one of his only positive runs of the afternoon.
Neil Rackers kicks off. And deep as Allen Rossman won't bring it out. Good kick by Rackers. Let's check in with Nichelle Turner, who talked with the coaches at halftime. Nichelle, what's going on?
Hey guys, well, I did talk to both coaches at halftime. Right off the top, I want to tell you that the Arizona Cardinals say Kurt Warner is fine, that his hand is just fine and it won't be a problem in the second half. But Coach Wisenhunt told me that his defense is getting after it. He's very happy with that, but he also says that that the offense needs work, flat out needs work, and he says that the penalties are unbelievable. Now, Coach Singletary, on the other hand, says that his team needs to turn up the heat. He says that the defense is doing its job, and when they get chances on offense, they've got to take it, that the Cardinals are killing them when it counts. Back to you. Thanks,
Nichelle. 49ers from the 20, Sean Hill to Frank Gore. And Gore makes his way up to the 24-yard line. First half, Frank Gore had 10 carries, 14 yards. And we talked about the patience they want to have with the running game.
Well, that's the guy they got to get blocked, Darnell Dockett, because he has been everywhere in the first half of this football game. To me, he's the best, clearly the best defensive tackle in the division and one of the top 5 guys in all of pro football. And he's had a good game so far.
2 tight ends, 2 wideouts, and Frank Gore in the backfield. It's Gore on second down, no hole, nothing. Good job blocking it up, bottling it up. Adrian Wilson combines with Chike O'Keefer, a one-time 49er, to make the stop. Darnell Dockett, a disruptive force. He wants to be in there all the time. He doesn't want to come out. Bill Davis, the defensive coordinator. His team has played strong, gave up that one big play that led to the touchdown.
We got Dockett on the nose this time.
Spurlock was in motion. Hill swings it out to Gore, too high. Good pressure coming again. Bertrand Berry and Adrian Wilson making Hill hurry up the throw.
Well, I think when you look at this defense, is they've got so many guys that can come from different areas. You don't know if they're dropping, if they're covering, if they're blitzing. And that time it was, you had Bertrand Berry coming from one side, and you had Adrian Wilson coming from the other, right into the face of the quarterback, and forced Sean to get it out early.
Andy Lee, line drive punt. Antrell roll from the 23. He's hit hard by Delaney Walker, bounced off, staying on his feet, and gets a good return up to the 34-yard line.
The pass rush has been a problem. I'll tell you, if I'm Ken Wisenhunt, I'm going some no huddle somewhere in this second half to slow down that pass rush of the San Francisco 49ers and get them tired.
Hightower and Kreider in the backfield off the play fake. Warner drops it off to the fullback, Dan Kreider. Short pickup to the 37-yard line. Patrick Willis on the stop. Boy, he's been all over the field, Patrick Willis.
Yeah, if you're going to throw checkdowns, and we've seen a lot of that to Tim Hightower today, you just saw it to Dan Kreider. You're not going to get past Patrick Willis too often. He's just so athletic in the open field. Most of the time more athletic than the guys he's trying to tackle.
Fitzgerald and Urban, the wideouts. Fitzgerald matched up here against Shante Spencer. Draw play to Hightower, trying to take it outside, and Clements with a good tackle. Nate Clements came up, and a good ankle tackle on the play.
Well, look what they do here. They got 7 guys that are up here on the line of scrimmage. And I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys, and they're able to stop the run with a tight end and a fullback on the field. And that's what you want to do. If you can stop the run by keeping 2 deep safeties against their passing game, you've been able to get it done. That's good work being outnumbered in the box and still forcing all that run stuff to the sideline.
As Clements now matched up against Larry
And
Fitzgerald.
you know what? Nichelle was right. That was a report. We've seen Nate Clements a lot on Fitzgerald today.
The short pass to Hightower, and he's got a first down with a good effort. Hightower, the ball came loose, but I believe he was down on the play. That's a first down. Tim Hightower continues to be the key man catching passes from Kurt Warner.
Another terrific play call from Ken Wisenhunt when you look at this one. Because Nate Clements, who's lined up out here on Fitz, he's going to come from the side over here. And he's just going to throw right at the fire zone side, right at the blitz side. And they've got him outmanned in numbers, and good job by Fitz getting that recovery.
Gain of 10, and that was only the second conversion on third down by the Cardinals in the game. Hightower stopped. Good penetration by Patrick Willis.
Well, this is something that you watch during the week and watching the tape. And Patrick Willis identifies that they got a little motion going with the fullback, and he's just going to blow it up. Look at him fly in there and blitz it and go right underneath the block of Reggie Wells and get Hightower for a loss.
Hurry up offense. They spread it out. Empty backfield. 4 wide receivers. Hightower's flanked out. Warner. And it's batted away, broken up nicely on the play by Dre Bly, reaching in. The veteran Dre Bly came over as a free agent.
And he's on Anquan Bolden, and just a terrific job of laying out. Kurt should have put that ball out in front of Anquan Bolden, where nobody could get to it with the exception of his receiver. Throws it a little bit behind him, which gives Dre Bly the opportunity to catch up and get a bat down.
He may be in a perfect spot for him as the number 5 defensive back.
No, the guy's got credentials. 40 interceptions in pro football.
Jason Wright in the backfield with Warner. Another third down for Arizona. They're 2 for 8. And it's thrown behind Larry Fitzgerald. He was open. Nate Clements covering on the play. The pass behind Fitzgerald, and he couldn't get there.
And again, another throw that's not accurate from Kurt Warner. And I think maybe he saw Dre Bly getting in the throwing lane and tried to just kind of steer it to the outside, so Dre Bly didn't get a hand on it, but nevertheless out of frame for his receiver. He had to reach up and try to get it and couldn't hold on.
And the all-star receivers have been shut down. Ben Graham's 5th punt of the game. Good high kick. Rawson let it bounce, goes into the end zone for a touchback. 2 tight ends in as the 49ers start from the 20. Frank Gore gets a tough 2 yards. Well, their 12th man fans off to a good start. Gore, not much there. Boy, the Cardinals are doing a great job of shutting down Frank Gore. They have keyed on stopping him, and they've done a terrific job.
Well, I thought coming in, San Francisco liked their matchup at the line of scrimmage in terms of getting movement on the defensive linemen, and it just hasn't gone down that way. The defensive linemen have stood them up all day, which has allowed those linebackers, and I really consider Adrian Wilson a linebacker half the time, for those guys to run and hit and pile up the run game.
That's all the rushing for San Francisco. Gore 14 carries for 19 yards, a long of 6. 3 wide receivers to go inside of Frank Gore, and they stay on the ground and get up to the 25, and they'll be forced to punt. Carlos Dansby doing a good job inside for Arizona. So they stayed on the ground. Boy, Mike Singletary works the officials, doesn't he?
He's been doing that a long time. Believe me.
Yes. There's Andy Lee back for the punt. Back to receive his Antrell Roll, standing back inside his 30. Good high kick. Roll looks around, fair catch at the 31-yard line. That's a look at Glenn Coffey, the rookie out of Alabama, 3rd-round draft pick of the San Francisco 49ers, and his teammate at Alabama, Rashad Johnson, 3rd-round draft pick of the Arizona Cardinals, the safety for the Cardinals. Going on opposite sides today.
Boy, Coffey had a great preseason, didn't he,
Yes,
for
he
San
did.
Francisco?
Very impressive.
I asked Singletary yesterday, I said, how much are you going to use Glenn Coffey? He says, as much as Frank Gore lets us.
That's right. Frank's another one of those players. Don't take me out. I feel great. Leave me in. Kurt Warner works out of the shotgun. Fitzgerald in motion. Warner with time. Throws short to Fitzgerald. As he crossed the field, he took it in stride, gets out of bounds at the 49-yard line. It was covered by Michael Lewis, pickup of 18 on the play.
Yeah, he's just going to come from the right side of your screen on a crossing route. Michael Lewis can't run with him, and really a good job from schematically. I mean, nice throw and nice catch, but schematically they really cleared it out with a couple of deep routes that gave Fitzgerald that room to come all the way across the field to pick up the first down.
Jason Wright and Beanie Wells in the backfield with Kurt Warner as the Cardinals go shotgun. Once again, inside handoff to Wells. He's got quickness, and he's got some strength too. Tough to bring down. Beanie Wells fights his way down to the 36-yard line. A pickup of 15, and the fans love it. They know he was a first-round draft pick. Didn't get all that much work in preseason.
Nice job getting off of his blocks here, because Willis is going to come inside. He's going to take out the puller, tries to spill it, and Beanie Wells just real patient, following the block up in front of him, and then carries about 4 or 5 49ers.
Longest run in the game.
You can just see his quickness once he gets through the line of scrimmage.
From the 36, spots the tight end motion. Here's Beanie Wells, little cutback. Look at him work. The legs keep driving. He gets inside the 30 to the 28. Picks up 8 on the play. And putting a little life in the Cardinals offense. Isaac Sopoaga with a tackle for San Francisco.
You know, he's one of those running backs. You see his size right there, and he's lost a bunch of weight. He came in here with John Lott, and he's trimmed down about 15 or 20 pounds, but he's one of those big backs that really has the ability to run over linebackers and run away from safeties. He's a special talent.
Dan Kreider is in at fullback. Urban motions. Warner to throw. Nobody open. Here he goes, and he slides down. Short pickup. Didn't get to the first down marker. That's not in the repertoire of Kurt Warner. He's not noted for quick feet. And just moved out of harm's way.
Good coverage downfield, and that's been the case most of the afternoon. And there you see Shante Spencer against his old college teammate Larry Fitzgerald. You got the other side with Urban coming in motion. You know, Kurt Warner, what he's so good at is getting the ball out on time, but because the coverage has been so good on the back end, he hasn't been able to do that today.
There's 3rd and 1 out of the shotgun with 4 wide receivers. Warner, Hightower outruns the linebacker, keeps going, spins to the 5-yard line, and down at the 4. Tim Hightower with his 9th catch of the game. A pickup of 23 on a 3rd and 1.
Well, Paris Harrelson trying to cover out there on Tim Hightower. That's just not going to work. And Hightower had everybody outflanked out on the perimeter. Yeah, Paris Harrelson trying to get a couple of steps upfield and show that he's rushing and then get back into coverage. No chance to stay with Hightower there. Terrific play call from Ken Wisenhunt.
9 receptions, 100 yards for Tim Hightower. First ever 100-yard receiving day for him. Running of Beanie Wells, short passes to Tim Hightower have been effective for Arizona. 1st and goal at the 49ers 5-yard line. Beanie Wells in the backfield with Kurt Warner. Wells fights off a tackle, was tripped up on the play by Dre Bly. And there's no gain on the play. Good play by Dre Bly.
And this is the area where San Francisco's got to tighten down the screws. And talking to Greg Minuski, the defensive coordinator, yesterday, he said, we got to be good in the red zone. We got to be great in the red zone.
Right.
And you know, I don't care if they go from the 1 all the way to the 1 and go 98 yards. We got to hold them to field goals all day long. And Arizona, you look at them last year, especially with Fitz and Bolden out there, one of the best and most dynamic teams down here in the money zone.
3 wide receivers. Wells in the backfield. Off the play fake. Warner rolling and looking, throws to Fitzgerald for the touchdown. The Cardinals cash in. Warner waited till the right guy was open, and he found Larry Fitzgerald.
Another good thing they're doing here schematically is they're moving the pocket a little bit. They're not letting Kurt Warner just stay back there as a sitting duck. They rolled him out to the right that time, little sprint out. Was able to buy time, and found Larry late with a laser.
Neil Racker's extra point is good.
Here's the touchdown, and watch Kurt Warner is going to roll to the right, Watch Larry Fitzgerald work for him in man coverage. You got Nate Clements out there in man coverage on Larry Fitzgerald, and Larry's just too big. Now, I don't care how good you are, and Nate's a good corner. You give Kurt Warner 3.5, 4 seconds to throw, and he bought some of that time with a pump fake and rolling out. Larry's just going to get open.
Larry Fitzgerald caught 12 touchdown passes last season, gets his first of the season. That's Sean Morey, key man on kickoff coverage for the Arizona Cardinals, who have come back to tie the game after trailing 13-3. Neil Rackers kicks it off. Alan Rossum waits. Had a 104-yard return last season here. And he stopped short of the 20-yard line. Ali Highsmith was there.
I mean, I remember when he came into the league, he was about 230 pounds, had trouble getting off press. He's about 215 now, and he's really one of the best finishers in the league.
Here's a big series for San Francisco. Hill wants to put it up. Nobody open deep. That pass short. Intended for Moran Norris, the fullback. That was an interesting call coming out on first down from their own 17. He was looking deep.
Yeah, he was looking deep, and they've come out and they've run it quite a bit on first down, so trying to catch Arizona a little bit off guard. And I think he had somebody open down the field. If you look and see Josh Morgan here, he's got free access on the corner, double move, and then he's going to break it off and come right back. Sean Hill just never saw him.
Michael Robinson is split out wide to the right on 2nd and 10. Hill gets time, puts it up deep for Isaac Bruce, and it was almost intercepted. Brian McFadden had Bruce well covered that time. Bruce had beaten him earlier for a 50-yarder.
Sean Hill this is his 11th start in pro football.
Yes.
7-3 as a starter. He's going to stare down the receiver the whole time here. I mean, he never ever looks off the safety. Tries to give a little bit of a pump fake there and then lead Isaac down to the hash marks, but Antrell Roll read his eyes the whole way. He's got good time to throw. Look at him stare down Isaac Bruce, which allowed the safety to come over, and it was an easy play for him to read the quarterback's eyes and get right in the throwing lane.
Crowd gets loud. It's 3rd and 10 from the 18. Hill in trouble, and they've got him. Early pressure from Calais Campbell broke up the play, and then he was finished off. 4th sack of the game for the Cardinals.
Here's Calais Campbell right here. He's just going to go around. He's just going to go around Adam Snyder. Sean Hill, and once things start to break down for Sean Hill, that's about it. I mean, he's not Ben Roethlisberger, where he's going to stand back there and buy time. Most of the time when things break down, the play's over for Sean Hill.
Andy Lee's punt bobbled by Antrell Roll, but he recovers, got tripped up, staying on his feet and battling, but he's down at the 40-yard line. But the Cardinals are coming on. Their defense is getting stiffer, and their offense is showing life. 50-yard punt by Andy Lee. First nine drives of the game, they averaged 3.6 per play. Last drive, 9.8. Beanie Wells in the lineup in the backfield. Fitzgerald motions. Everybody out. Warner with time. He finds Jeremy Urban, who held on. He bobbled and held on, and he is very close to the first down marker.
That's where you don't want Kurt Warner to be able to do that in terms of stepping up in the pocket and having a clear vision point down the field. No real gut pressure up inside on Kurt Warner. He was able to stay right on his spot, and we talked about that through the game, and stepped up and delivered it to Urban on the crossing route.
They'll bring the chains in for a measurement. Arizona starting to find their offense. They were great against division opponents last season, 6-0. They've got a 7-game winning streak within divisional games, and they're starting to find their groove right now, and that is a first down. The nose of the football touching. The head coach calling in the play is Ken Wisenhunt. Mike Singletary on his sideline, needing some big plays from his defense. From the 49-yard line. Beanie Wells stays in as the lone running back. End around fake. Warner wants to go deep. He finds Anquan Bolden down at the 38-yard line. Another Arizona first down. And now it looks like Warner's getting into a rhythm with his game.
No doubt, and the O-line has given him a good time in terms of protection. All the way back across the field. Golson's going to try to pick him up and run with him. And Kurt was just all over him. And that was right on time. And Kurt, again, had the time to deliver that ball and let it develop.
Two tight ends in. Spock, one of those tight ends motioning. Here's Beanie Wells. Finds a little opening. Fights his way down to the 32-yard line.
He just looks quicker when he gets to the line of scrimmage than Tim Hightower. And Edgerrin James. Remember, a lot of good years out of Edgerrin James, and Edge always ran behind his pads and all that, but they've been needing a guy like this in the backfield, a guy who is just extremely explosive and still has a lot of speed left and juice left in the legs, and he's got it.
That's a good word. Looks like Mike Singletary has called a timeout here to gather his guys. Look at this. He's bringing his defense to him. The head coach coming out to talk to his defense.
Well, I think he's sensing a momentum shift. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Just kind of reminding these guys who we are and what we're all about.
This is something you don't often see. Boy, he's gotten everybody around. Motivation is his forte, and he's trying to get his guys fired up. Ball is close to the 31-yard line. That's Greg Minuski, the defensive coordinator, sending in the signals. But the Cardinals on the move. Let's see who steps up for the 49ers. Let's see what Kurt Warner comes up with now, as he has gotten his game going. 18 for 29, 211 yards. Hightower is back in the backfield with 4 wide receivers, and they stop the play.
Delay game. Offense, number 13, 5-yard penalty. Second down.
After a timeout?
Yeah, I couldn't understand that one.
Not good.
That's another penalty on the Arizona Cardinals, their 9th of the game. It's cost them 63 yards. Ball back to the 36-yard line. 2nd and 9. Everybody out. Hightower, his 10th catch of the game, out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Patrick Willis picked him up and took him out.
And they ran a little rub route out there, which freed up Tim Hightower. You watch, you got man coverage out to the left of the TV screen. Kurt Warner's right. You see the inside receiver coming on a slant that actually picked Patrick Willis from really be able to be out there and cover Hightower on the flat route.
It's a 3rd and 4 for the Cardinals, who have converted 3 of their last 4 third down situations. Hightower shifts, flying across the line comes Paris Harrelson, and we check out the flags.
Offside. Defense, number 98. Neutral zone infraction, causing the fault.
That is a huge penalty, because that's a first down for the Arizona Cardinals.
See how upset Mike Singletary is. Now the Cardinals have a first down on the 49ers 26-yard line. Beanie Wells and Dan Kreider in the backfield. It's Wells. Cut back, and he's hit down at the 23-yard line. Patrick Willis makes another tackle.
Anytime you're running any type of counter or pulling guys, you have to have tight ends that can block down. Watch the down block right here on Manny Lawson by Anthony Becht. And that's it. I mean, Manny Lawson gets kicked down 2 yards to the line of scrimmage. Kreider comes out and gets a kick-out block. And that opens a nice little crease for the running game.
Willis makes the tackle on the play, his 11th of the game. On second down, Beanie Wells tripped up. This time a good play inside by Abrea Franklin, the nose tackle. The offense put up a touchdown and now threatening again. Hightower in the backfield on 3rd and 9. The short pass is wide of Hightower. Manny Lawson was around Hightower, and it almost looked like Kurt Warner wanted to make sure it didn't throw it anywhere near.
Yeah, I think that was Kurt just really trying to elude an interception or a turnover, because Manny Lawson was doing a nice job of playing Tim Hightower. Justin Smith got the nice pressure.
Cardinals running yards picked up with Beanie Wells in there. Their offense has gotten it together. Here is a 43-yard field goal attempt by Neil Rackers to give the Cardinals the lead. And he does. Back in Glendale, Arizona, where the Cardinals have the lead for the first time, and that is 7th-round draft pick Larod Stevens-Howling, who's become a very important man on special teams for the Cardinals. Got quickness, and they've got him in the middle of the kick coverage unit.
No wedge, you don't have to worry about the little guys. No 3-man wedges covering down the middle.
And with a kick like that by Rackers, you don't have to worry about a return by Allen Rossum. Another touchback. And now the pressure on the offense for the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers have been 3 and out 3 times in a row. Everybody out. Hill gets rid of it. Too short. He got pressure from the outside. Looked like Carlos Dansby was coming hard.
Well, Dansby and Gerald Hayes have really been in the face of Shaun Hill today. And I got to tell you, Shaun has not had, look at that, total yards at 4 in the second half, has not had a good afternoon. But a lot of it is his offensive line, a group that coming into the game I had a lot of respect for. I thought they'd play real well against this front in Arizona, and frankly they haven't. They haven't opened up running lanes, and the pressure in particular right up the middle, has been on Shaun Hill all day.
Michael Robinson is in at fullback along with Frank Gore. Blitz coming from roll. Quick outside to Isaac Bruce. And Isaac Bruce gets up to the 26. If they give him 6, that'll be 15,000 on the nose. And it looks like he got 6. So another milestone for the great Isaac Bruce, future Hall of Famer. With 6 yards, it gives him 15,000. Only one man has had more, and that's the great Jerry Rice.
And they got to convert here now.
Yep.
The defense absolutely needs a rest. This will be the 4th 3 and out if they don't.
Here they come. Blitz picked up, the pass complete to Vernon Davis, the tight end, a first down up at the 44. Big play on 3rd down. Gain of 18.
Really good job by Shaun Hill, because he wanted to go to Frank Gore there, but he gets covered, so then Vernon just comes right into the hole of the zone See, Sean wanted to go on that little flare route to Frank Gore, but he was covered up by Chike O'Keefer. That was his second read, came right back to Vernon Davis and delivered a strike.
Gore and Robinson in the backfield. The versatile Robinson now splits out. Hill, short drop, deep throw, almost picked off. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie had it go off his hands, and then Antrell Roll following up almost had it.
Well, and he threw it to me. I think he threw it to the wrong receiver. Now, the defender does peel off the wide receiver going down the sidelines, but there was 2 or 3 guys on the guy down the seam, as you see right here. Look at all the red jerseys on Isaac Bruce. Josh Morgan was down the sideline, open.
Second and 10. Robinson splits to the right side this time. With an empty backfield. Cardinals are coming. The pass caught by Vernon Davis. And he's brought down just short of the midfield line. Carlos Dansby made the stop.
Really good job by Vernon Davis. I'm not so sure over the last couple of years he'd have made this play. And here it's just real good recognition by him. Recognizing the blitz is coming off his side. He realizes he's the hot receiver. He's the guy that Sean's going to throw it to versus that blitz. Was able to spin his head and his body around and pick up the catch.
He and Coach Mike Singletary have gotten on the same page. They had some talks in the offseason. He stepped up as a leader. He's one of the team captains now. Here's a big third down play. 3rd and 5. Hill finds a man. It's Isaac Bruce for a first. Let's see. It's there at the line. Looks like he's got enough for the first down.
They're going to give it to him. They're going to spot this right on the 45-yard line.
So another big play.
Well, the O-line gave him some time there because he pumped 2 or 3 times to his right. The offensive line was able to protect just enough where he could come back to his left and find Isaac Bruce for the first down.
First down 49ers at the Arizona 45. 2 tight ends in. Hill with time goes short. Oh, he threaded the needle, but it was dropped by Vernon Davis. A couple of defenders there. Carlos Dansby and Antrell Roll. And for more on this guy, Vernon Davis, who stepped up. Let's hear from Nichelle Turner. Nichelle.
Yeah, guys, let's call it the maturation of Vernon Davis. You know, we talked to Coach Singletary, and he said that Vernon is probably the most misconstrued guy on the team, that he's a guy that sets the tempo in terms of work ethic. I told that to Vernon. He was pleasantly surprised and said Coach Singletary has taught him a lot about professionalism after that incident. Back to you.
Thanks, Nichelle. They go inside to Frank Gore for a couple of yards. Boy, Gore has tried and tried, but hasn't gotten much running room. That's his 16th carry of the game.
We've talked a lot about Arizona's defense today, and you know, Billy Davis, they're really exclusively a 3-4 team now. And this is the first game where they've stayed with 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers. Remember under Clancy Pendergast, there was a lot of hybrid stuff. They have really, really played well at the line of scrimmage.
Gore 16 carries, 26 yards. Here's 3rd and 7. Michael Spurlock in as the 3rd receiver. There they come with a blitz. Hill finds Isaac Bruce. First down at the 29-yard line. Another big 3rd down play by the 49ers.
What a heads-up play by the quarterback, Sean Hill. That's some big 3rd downs now that they've converted on. He looked out to his left and knew right away that Isaac Bruce had press coverage on him, and it was going to be man-on-man, and he could get him on that comeback route.
Matt Ware, backup safety, is hurt on the play. And the medical team out to take a look. It's been a good drive for the 49ers. Arizona with a 3-point lead. San Francisco driving. We'll be right back. That's Rashad Johnson in a nickel or dime defense. He now is the lone remaining safety, backup safety. The 49ers' 10th play of the drive. This is the longest drive of the game for either team. Gore and Robinson in the backfield. Quick outside. Arnaz Battle cuts in. Nice move by Battle, and he's down right at the first down line. At the 19-yard line. Looks like he's got enough. There's Matt Ware, who was shaken up on the previous play.
Well, he came on a blitz right up the middle, and Frank Gore just tattoos him. Watch, he's going to come up, and then watch 21 Frank Gore helmet right on the jaw of Matt Ware. Frank's helmet comes off, but Matt was the one that absorbed most of the impact on that one.
Not likely we're going to see Matt Ware back in the game. First down, 49ers at the 19. Hill drops it off to Vernon Davis, and he's tripped up. That's a good tackle by Chike O'Keefer, as Davis was just starting to get some speed up. Got to the 20-yard line. Turns out to be a loss of a yard on the play.
You got to be happy if you're Chike O'Keefer on that one. Vernon Davis is probably the fastest guy on the team here in San Francisco at 255 pounds. Chike reads it the whole way. Still has enough speed. He's been in the league a long time. The 49er fans remember him as a third-round pick back in the day, but still has enough speed in the legs to come up and get Vernon Davis.
This drive started at the San Francisco 20. 12th play of the drive. Short drop. Hill completes it to Vernon Davis. Fights his way down to the 9-yard line, very close to a first down.
Sean Hill has been terrific on this drive, and just reading coverage and throwing it to the right guy. Here, he's going to read 4 deep, 3 underneath. He's going to stare deep, stare deep, stare deep, knowing he's got Vernon Davis versus only 3 guys in underneath coverage. And that's a big first down. I've been impressed with Sean Hill. There's a lot of pressure on him on this drive in particular, and so far he's come through.
First and goal at the 8. Norris and Gore in the backfield. Gore following Norris, cut inside.
Ball's out.
The ball came loose. Was he down? There's no signal. Cardinals think they have it.
I think Moran Norris has got it at the bottom.
Yeah, they're signaling second down.
Yeah, that ball was popped out for sure.
Moran Norris did recover the fumble.
You can watch as Frank's just trying for extra yards. This is what he's so good at, sneaking and hiding and being patient. He dips down right there. The ball's already out. Couldn't see it from that angle, but the ball was already out. Moran Norris right there to fall on.
Big play, second and goal at the 7. Hill, end zone, threw it behind Delaney Walker. There's a flag on the play at the 5-yard line. And we will see.
Offside. Defense, number 90, half the distance to the goal. Second down.
Darnell Dockett offside for Arizona. Yet another penalty to the Cardinals.
There's Doc right here. Darnell Dockett on the inside. This is the second time he has jumped the snap count today and been caught for it.
He's up second and goal, 3.5 yards away from the goal line.
Boy, Frank Gore was wide open in the flat on that play.
Gore and Robinson in the backfield. Hill throwing, and it's through the hands of Isaac Bruce. Well played by Carlos Dansby.
Carlos Dansby is such a versatile player. He's just going to get right on the goal line, play anything that comes his way. He's able to pick up Isaac Bruce on the crossing route, going for the interception there, but still got himself a nice bat down. Really a complete player. Dansby can rush, can cover, can do just about everything.
On this drive, the 49ers are 3 for 3 on third down. We welcome all of you who've been watching the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins. We're in Glendale, Arizona. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Michelle Turner, the San Francisco 49ers, and their head coach Mike Singletary. Sean Hill, their quarterback, talking things over have the ball, 3rd and goal at the Arizona 3. In a back and forth game, Arizona leading 16-13. Defenses have been strong.
This is the 15th play of the drive. Arizona's defense had completely dismantled San Francisco with the exception of one long pass to Isaac Bruce.
Arizona crowd gets loud. 3rd and goal. Hill being rushed. Gets it out wide open. Frank Gore, touchdown. What a heads-up read by Sean Hill with a blitz coming from the outside, and Frank Gore scores the touchdown. The 49ers have the lead again.
Sean Hill is just terrific on this drive, hasn't he been? And here's the touchdown right here. Frank Gore is going to pop out. Nobody covers him. They're coming on the blitz. Rogers Cromartie man coverage with the ex-receiver comes down inside, and there is nobody out there for Frank Gore. Terrific job again by Sean Hill to cap off a terrific drive for himself. Read the defense the right way and found the open receiver.
And right here, San Francisco with the lead. What a drive, 80-yard drive. Sean Hill leading the way. This is the rookie, LaRod Stevens, howling. And he is brought down at the 15 with coverage by the 49ers.
Look at Coach Singletary working all of his players, telling guys, look, we got him now where we want him. It's up to our defense. Still 7 minutes left. Let's go out and play great and finish it up. He's got to be so happy with his offensive line on that drive, who had been pretty tore up throughout the game today by the Cardinals up front. Sean Hill, look, Sean Hill answered the bell big time on that last drive. 9 of 13, Sam. 72 yards, finished on the touchdown to Frank Gore.
15 plays, 13 passes, and they converted 3 third downs and scored the touchdown on the 3rd down. Now the Cardinals from their own 16. Kurt Warner, who's had a good second half, completes to Larry Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald and Bolden were kept totally quiet in the first half. He's come alive here in the second half. That's his 4th catch of the game, including the touchdown.
This is what I was expecting. Talked about it right at the start of the 3rd quarter. No huddle. His pass rush has been really good for San Francisco. This is a good way to equalize what those guys have done up front and get them tired.
4 wide receivers. Everybody out. Warner gets time. Throws short to Fitzgerald. That crossing pattern has been working here in the second half. Fitzgerald out of bounds at the 29. A 1st down for Arizona.
Yeah, they've just picked apart that underneath zone in the second half of this game, and that's been the story. I think once they came out in the 3rd quarter, you just mentioned it, Fitz and Bolden, not really anything to speak about in the first half. They've come out and they've really hit that zone coverage with a lot of stuff underneath with the crossing routes.
Kurt Warner 21 for 33, 229 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Everybody out. Warner completes. No, Fitzgerald couldn't hold on. Thought he had it in his hands, but he dropped it. We welcome those of you who've been watching the St. Louis Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks with a big win, 28-0 on kickoff weekend. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Nichelle Turner here in Glendale, Arizona, where the San Francisco 49ers lead the Arizona Cardinals 20-16. 49ers had a 13-3 lead. Cardinals came back to grab the lead 16-13, and now the 49ers have regained the lead. Oh, the pass complete. The big hit on Jeremy Urban, the number 3 receiver for Arizona today, with Steve Preston out with a knee injury.
And Mark Roman can still deliver a shot. Oh! Now you'll start to see these defenders on the defensive side of the ball, hands on the hips, guys starting to get tired. Nothing harder in pro football, in my opinion, than rushing the passer versus the no huddle. It saps your win quick.
3rd and 5, everybody out. Warner, incomplete, intended for Fitzgerald, and Nate Clements, who's played a strong game. He's had an interception. He's done a good job on Fitzgerald, and the pass incomplete. Sean Hill, 18 for 31, 209 yards and a touchdown. Frank Gore has been shut down by the Arizona defense. Kurt Warner It's been up and down. Been a mixed bag for him. Tim Hightower, 10 catches, 105 yards.
Yeah, Kurt has not been very accurate at all today. Now, the second half's been much better than the first half, but Arizona offense started this game in a real funk.
Big punt by Ben Graham is down at the 1-yard line by the Cardinals.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
The Cardinals, who were 6-0 in the division last season. That streak on the line, going straight ahead. The fullback Moran Norris picked up a couple on the play. 49ers run game has been shut down by the Arizona defense.
Really has been shut down. Now there has been a commitment to it. Jimmy Ray has stuck with it with Mike Singletary telling him, look, we're going to run the football all year long. Gore has got 17 carries in this game, only 1.6 a pop, but they have been patient with it and they've stayed with it.
It's Gore again. Gets to the 5 where he stood up by the Arizona defense. That punt by Ben Graham, a 64-yarder, really helped his team. He's had a big game, 6 punts, averaging better than 54 yards per punt. But that one really could be a big turning point here for Arizona if they can stop the 49ers on third down.
Stop them here on third down, force the punt. You got yourself a real good field position. Try to get it in the last 4 minutes of this game.
6 defensive backs in for Arizona.
We're trying to get there with 4. I don't think they'll blitz on this one.
The handoff to Gore, and he stopped. Big play by Calais Campbell. In his first NFL start, the second-year defensive end has been strong up front.
He's had a terrific game, and he just creases the left guard. Watch him here. He's going to shoot the gap inside. David Moss has no chance, so he defeats the guy in front of him, then takes out the puller, and then makes the tackle all at once. And the reason that's not called a safety is because the impetus, the momentum of the running back Frank Gore was at about the 1-yard line when the defender hit him and then took him into the end zone.
So now Andy Lee from the back of the end zone with a good punt. Antrell Roll has to go back to his own 40. Good return by Roll into 49ers territory. Fighting his way to the 40-yard line. What an effort by Antrell Roll. Taking over for the injured Steve Preston, who was inactive today as the punt returner. 59-yard punt by Andy Lee, but a 22-yard return.
Well, you love the big punt, but there was no hang time on it. He really outkicked his coverage. So when Bolden finally fielded the punt, he had a lot of room to run. And then you can just see his strength right there as he didn't go down and carried about 3 or 4 guys for extra yardage.
Ken Wisenhunt calling the plays here. Kurt Warner's been in this situation many times and has pulled out victories. At the 49ers 38. 2 tight ends. It's Hightower. They stop the play. False start against Arizona. And penalties have really...
False start. Offense. Number 83. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Penalties affecting Arizona's game.
Yeah, they've been sloppy. They're double-digit with their penalties. Is that their 11th?
Yes.
11th penalty of the day today.
Ball back to the 43-yard line. 1st and 15. Arizona with 2 timeouts remaining. Warner out of the shotgun with 4 wide receivers. Has time. Throws incomplete, intended for Jeremy Urban. He dropped it. Flag on the play. Back in the Arizona backfield.
Holding. Offense. Number 69. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's the left tackle, Mike Gandy.
There's Gandy there.
Manny Lawson against him.
They do that on every play. They clearly had his hands outside the framework. You got to keep him inside. Got called for it.
So the penalties have taken Arizona from the San Francisco 38 back to their own 47. Warner being pressured, drops it off to Hightower. Tim Hightower slips through, gets to the 46-yard line of San Francisco. Tim Hightower with 11 catches in the game, a career high.
San Francisco clearly has played deep to shallow with their coverages today. A lot of zone coverage, a lot of 2 deep, a lot of 4 deep. Just trying to keep all the big plays in front of him. That's why Hightower's had so many catches with the check down.
112 yards receiving for Hightower. Deep drop by Warner. Stepping up, waiting, and got it through to Jeremy Urban, who took it away from Shante Spencer. Down to the 33-yard line. Play by Urban here.
Good play by Kurt Warner, buying time. I mean, he did have some pressure behind him, a little coming to the side of him, and moved just enough to his left to get enough time to deliver it to Urban, who wrestled it away from Shante Spencer.
And a 3rd and 5 for Arizona. Warner pressured, looking for Urban, and if anything, that might have been intercepted. Terrell Brown was in front of Jeremy Urban. It's incomplete. That's a great show. Kurt Warner on 4th down. He's rushed. He gets rid of it. It's incomplete. Big defensive play by the 49ers. Justin Smith with the big hit on Kurt Warner. And the 49ers take over on downs.
That's when you love a guy who's got a nonstop motor. Watch him right there. He's got a pass rush stunt working with Manny Lawson out at right end. Manny's going to crash it down. He peels around tight and is able to, I mean, just classic bull rush, and really give a lot of credit. Justin's going to get all the credit, give Manny Lawson a lot of credit for really crashing down inside across the face of Mike Gandy to give that running lane to Justin Smith. Big time play.
49ers defense coming up big. Arizona with 2 timeouts remaining. Frank Gore behind David Boss, brought down on the play by Rashad Johnson, the rookie out of Alabama. And the timeout stops the clock. Kurt Warner, tough game for him at times, a lot of pressure. Anquan Bolden coming off a hamstring injury with only 2 catches in the game. San Francisco 49ers trying to change the culture, the attitude coming from the new head coach, Mike Singletary, who took over last season, finished the season strong, got the full-time job, and has been in total control of his team and getting his philosophy across.
No doubt, and he's changed the environment around there. You walk into that building and you can feel that it's different with Mike in charge.
Gore and Norris in the backfield. Frank Gore to the 40-yard line. And Arizona has used up its timeouts. Sean Hill. There's Justin Smith, who came up with a big defensive play. 49ers defense has responded to the urging of their head coaches. He called a timeout, came out on the field, gathered his defense around them earlier in this second
got
half.
Everybody's head right, for sure.
There's a big 3rd down play, 3rd and 3. If the 49ers get a first down,
it's over.
It's over. Gore stopped. Gerald Hayes. And the Cardinals are still alive. They're out of timeouts. They won't have all that much time, but they will get the ball back.
Anytime San Francisco has been in this 21 personnel, which is 2 running backs and a tight end, Arizona has blitzed their inside linebackers, just run blitzed them. We've seen Gerald Hayes do that 3 or 4 times today, where he's blitzing the run and shoots the gap and gets a tackle for loss on Frank Gore.
Frank Gore, 22 carries, just 30 yards. Great defensive work by the Arizona Cardinals in shutting him down. Now it's Andy Lee to punt. Good high kick. Natural roll inside his 10. Nice move. Trying to get upfield. And he's brought down, shoved back. They'll give him forward progress to the 12-yard line. The Cardinals with 43 seconds and no timeouts. A 54-yard punt by Andy Lee. 4 wide receivers for Arizona, with Tim Hightower in the backfield. Warner to Hightower. Trying to get to the sideline. Diving for the sideline. Didn't get there. Clock still running.
49ers better get up on defense. They got guys laying over on the side. Cardinals do not have to wait for them.
Patrick Willis did a good job to make the tackle. Warner spikes the ball. And it'll be a 3rd down for Arizona with 23 seconds to go. And the Cardinals needing a touchdown. Greg Minuski, the defensive coordinator, the head coach. On the other side, Ken Wisenhunt. Is there a little Super Bowl hangover?
I think they missed Todd Haley, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I really think they missed their offensive coordinator, Todd Haley.
3rd and 1. Warner finds Fitzgerald, and he is brought down at the 45, but the clock runs. Cardinals race to the line, and the clock is stopped with 8 seconds. A 25-yard pickup on the pass from Warner to Fitzgerald.
The good thing Bolden is in this play, because watch him bump Deshaun Goldson out of the way. Golson's going for the pick right there, and it just timed up perfectly where Larry Fitzgerald's making that in cut, and Bolden actually just got in and cut off the lane to Deshaun Goldson, who was trying to get in on the play and get himself the football.
Fitzgerald 6 catches, 71 yards, 1 touchdown. Bolden just 2 catches in the game. 8 seconds to go. And the Cardinals 54 yards away. Warner in trouble. Justin Smith's got him. The ball comes loose. And this one is over. The San Francisco 49ers have won on opening day in Arizona, 20-16.